Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. Well, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been shopping locally this holiday season. Our local businesses are so appreciative that you know how important they are to our community and that you're buying such special gifts from our local businesses. And I want to thank everyone who has participated in the Shop, Drop, and Win so far. We've given away nearly $1,000 in prizes already. Our final drawing is December 20th. And again, our goal is to make sure that all of those holiday shopping dollars stay right here with our local Fergus Falls area businesses. Well, speaking of area businesses, one business owner is joining us on the show today. Jessica Lopez of the Farmers Insurance Lopez Agency will be joining us on the show and giving us some tips and tricks and some ideas on taking care of insurance and how easy that can be. Stay tuned, we'll be back after a short break.
Digital Dilemmas presents
The Coffee Connection. Did you hear about my neighbor Gladys? What about her? She got one of them new Wi-Fi routers. You know them fancy ones? Now my signal's weak. Can you believe it?
You Don't Say. If your Wi-Fi seems slow or you're experiencing signal disruptions, your neighbor's router could be causing interference. Contact your service provider to discuss changing the settings on your router or upgrading to a new one. Stay tuned for more Digital Dilemmas.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. Joined with a special chamber member guest today, Jessica Lopez with Farmers Insurance, the Lopez Agency. Jessica, so glad to have you on the show today. And with this weather, I would imagine that folks have been thinking about their auto insurance a little bit too.
Definitely. Great to be back. Thanks for having me, Lisa.
You bet.
Yeah, lots of things on people's minds when it comes to auto insurance, homeowners insurance. You know, things change with the weather changing.
Definitely.
So we have some accidents here and there, people, sliding around and whatnot. So it's important to make sure that you have the appropriate coverage. Want to make sure that you have collision coverage there in case you slide into someone or someone slides into you. A lot of times, individuals will take a look at, my vehicle's maybe a little bit older, not necessarily need that, but then you have to consider what happens when you do have an accident.
Right.
What are you going to do to replace that vehicle and your means of transportation to get to work and things like that?
Absolutely. Very important things, and I think, again, there's a different season, there's things change with the weather, people think about different things, and insurance isn't always on top of mind, but it should be, and there's some great ways that you can work with folks to help the process become even easier, whether it's auto or home or even life insurance. And Farmers is doing some great things now to make life insurance even easier. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we understand everybody's busy and things going on with COVID and everything. We try to not to have too much time where we're kind of in close quarters and things like that. So what we've done is make it easier to apply for life insurance. So you don't necessarily have to have an exam and lab work done where a nurse goes out to your home and does all of that. Plus it speeds up the process.
Right.
So a lot of times, depending on the amount that you're applying for and so forth, we can actually waive that entirely. So a lot of times
quick and easy then too.
Quick and easy. I can get someone coverage depending on the type of plan we're looking at, anywhere from within 48 hours to a week.
Wow, that is very quick.
Yep. Sure
and like
is.
you said, a lot of times people can be apprehensive about, well, if I get life insurance, then I have to, go through, I don't want to have somebody draw my blood, or you know what I mean? They don't want all those different things to go on, and now you're making it so much simpler.
Exactly. Yep, you got it.
So when you talk about life insurance, who should have life insurance?
Everyone should. Everyone should have life insurance, and sometimes it's a situation where maybe you have a plan. Maybe you have insurance through your employer. Well, employment changes. Sometimes those plans are portable where you can take it with you. Sometimes they're not. And a lot of times those plans don't necessarily provide enough life insurance coverage.
Sure.
So it really depends on what's important to you. Do you want to make sure that your mortgage is paid off? Are you replacing income? So there's really different stages in life where you're going to need varying amounts.
Sure.
So when you're younger, earlier on, you may need a little less. Then once you're established, if you buy a home, if you get married and have kids, you're going to need a bit more. And then, towards the end, when you're retiring and so forth, we might need to bring that amount down. You know,
Okay.
so what I do is I take a look at insurance, whether you have it or not, just to see if you're in that right amount for the stage of life that you're in.
Yep.
Because you don't want to overspend for what you have either.
Right, so people could have too much life insurance.
Exactly. Yep, you got it.
Well, you want to make sure that the coverage is appropriate, like you said, for the stage of life and for where the person is at. And I would imagine a variety of plans available in a variety of price points and coverages for them too.
Exactly. And one thing too I want to mention, you don't have to be incredibly healthy to get life insurance. Of course, your rates tend to be better if you are. But you know, I specialize in taking a look at options for people that don't have the perfect health history or might be going through some things right now.
Sure.
So I'd encourage, you know, anyone to come, you know, have a conversation with me about that and see what we can do.
Definitely. Well, something to check off get done before the end of the year, wrapping things up as we roll through the year of 2021. You know, and Farmers Insurance, you guys have been so involved in the community in so many different ways. Recently working with the Angel Tree and different things like that. You're always involved in community events, whether it's, again, sports or charities or that type of thing. In addition to that, you're offering a new service for folks to make it convenient for them for a fingerprinting service. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I had been approached about using some of my office space to offer up opportunities for people to get fingerprinted for background checks for pre-employment purposes.
Sure.
So currently, this basically is something that the Department of Health for Minnesota had a need for. And apparently the entity that had set this up some time ago was no longer working with the state of Minnesota. So there was a couple of months of a backlog. So they, you know, basically had opened it up here just in about mid-September. So I have a section of my office that we now use for that. So a lot of individuals are applying for healthcare, daycare jobs, working in veteran homes, foster parents, and so forth is what we're seeing right now. So basically, you know, your employer will give you an opportunity to choose where to go, but now there's a place here locally in Fergus instead of having to go all the way to Fargo to do something like that.
Right. And so folks, do they need to make an appointment if they need the
They do.
fingerprinting services?
They do.
Okay.
So basically you'd go to identigo.com.
Okay.
And then you would go in there and register a time to come in. And we actually have same day appointments available too, depending on the type of position that you're applying for.
Okay. And if folks need their fingerprinting, that service done, how long should they plan for as far as how long? Is it a 2-hour process, a 30-minute process?
It's pretty quick and easy. Everybody's different though. Everyone's fingers are different. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but it's nice and clean. There's no ink involved. It's just all digital fingerprinting, so it makes it easier. Average is about 6 minutes.
About 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so people don't have to take a
No,
half a day off
exactly.
or anything like that for it. So it's fantastic. You saw a need in the community and were able to provide that service, and that's one thing that you've been able to do through your agency, through Farmers Insurance. And of course, you're a small business owner yourself, and you're able to provide business coverage too. That's one of the areas.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs in our area here.
Definitely.
And
yeah,
I love
it's
it.
so cool to see.
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to businesses for housekeeping, small restaurants, daycare providers, we have a lot of childcare in home and elsewhere out here, and that's a lot. And I've noticed a lot of people coming in starting new childcare services.
Yay!
So I'm excited
We
about
love
that.
that.
So it's kind of neat with the
Great
fingerprinting
need.
service we have there on the side. Is we're meeting other people and kind of figuring out what's going on, and
Sure.
there seems to be an increase in the amount of services that are going to be provided here soon.
Yeah.
So with regard to that, and then also when it comes to anyone who's a carpenter, painter, we specialize in those with artisan contracts and companies and things like that.
So it might be something that you're starting as kind of your side hustle or your night job, or you're doing it part-time, but you're still in business.
Right.
You want insurance, and as customers, when you're hiring somebody, you want to make sure that they're insured. So even these small businesses, like you said, maybe they're a cottage baker, they're doing some different things, kind of on the
Plumbers,
side.
electricians.
Yeah.
We're really good at that. Very competitive.
Very competitive, so they can get insurance directly through you then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, anything else that folks should be aware of as we get towards the end of 2021 and start looking into 2022 when it comes to insurance?
Well, I would say, everybody's kind of busy now with the holidays, and Christmas is right around the corner. but then we kind of have that time between Christmas and New Year's, and it might be a good time to just have some time off, take a look at what can be done to potentially save you money, or just review your coverage because maybe you don't have the appropriate coverage in place.
Right.
So that's what we love to do at my office, is just take a look at everything and see where we're at. Do an insurance review with you when it comes to home, auto, business, life. And I have just a little side note too, business owners that I've talked to who acquired a business and just kind of assume the same coverage and things like that too, really not having the time to look at that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that's important to look at, as you take over a business, you're
Right.
changing and tweaking things, so coverage may not be the same, you may not have the same amount of staff, that sort of thing. So it's a good time of year to take a look at that if you're a little bit slower now with after the holiday and you just have some time to sit down and relax
Right.
and go through things.
Good time to wrap those kind of things up. And well, you of course make it easy too. You're so conveniently located. People can pick up supper from Papa Murphy's
Yeah.
right next door. So we should tell folks exactly where you're located.
Yep, I'm right next door to Papa Murphy's, so Tuesdays are crazy in our parking lot, but you can always just pick up your pizza and pop in my office, or vice versa, and then take care of that there. So yeah, we're right across the street from the museum there. Swing on by, you could come in or make an appointment, whatever's easiest for you.
Fantastic. And the best number for folks to get in touch with you would be?
That's 218-282-7944.
Fantastica.
Fantastica, Jessica. I like it.
We were talking about an Italian restaurant before, so.
I'm craving Italian.
Anyhow, thank you, Jessica, for joining us on the show today and for serving so many people in our
Thank you, I
community
appreciate it.
and giving back to the community as well. We appreciate
pleasure.
it. Much success for you in 2022.
Thank you.
You bet. We'll be back after a little break.
Digital Dilemmas presents
Wi-Fi enlightenment. A wise person once said, "Keep your feet on the ground and your router on a shelf. This will help you achieve greater happiness in life and a better Wi-Fi signal."
placing your router on the floor can negatively affect its performance because the ground will absorb the signal. Instead, it's better to keep your router off the floor in a central location. Stay tuned for more digital dilemmas.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I would like to thank Jessica Lopez for joining us on the show today. And I want to thank everyone who has purchased Fergus Bucks this holiday season. Again, they're a great gift that the Chamber sells year-round. They're just like getting a gift card for all of Fergus Falls. There's more than 370 places that you can spend them. And if you'd like to get some Fergus Bucks, just drop by the Chamber office or give us a call at 218-736-6951. I'm Lisa Workman. This has been Find It in Fergus Falls, and we'll see you again next week.